down results that win every time. Stevenson Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevenson Smith Construction slams expectations.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the number one fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at CoppellCars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, for brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Welcome to Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Lace up your skates and join Lincoln Stars head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they introduce you to special player guests and give you the latest news and results from across the USHL. Here are your hosts, Rocky Russo and Alex Fern.
A happy new year from us at the Lincoln Stars to all of our listeners here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Alexander Fern is always happy to be joined by the head coach of the Lincoln Stars, Rocky Russo, here on Outside the Box. We got a couple of player guests coming in the second half of the show, but a lot of stuff has happened since the last time we talked, whether that's on the hockey front, unfortunately for Rocky, as well as the college football front as well. But still, a lot of talking points to be talked about here. It's a short week for the Stars, 3 games this weekend, including on Thursday. We got $3 beer night, $3 Busch Light, $3 PBRs. Get out, get your tickets. Tickets are available for $8, by the way. Get your tickets, fill the icebox. It's going to be a fun interconference game against an in-state rival in the Tri-City Storm. So again, LincolnStars.com for your tickets. Rocky, how are we doing today?
Doing great, Alex. How are you?
I am living the dream, baby. Can't complain at all.
It's a beautiful day here in Lincoln, Nebraska. I think it was 56 degrees when I looked about an hour ago. So feels more like spring than winter time, that's for sure. But I'm going to take advantage of the weather tomorrow, maybe take down my Christmas decorations before the cold weather hits again.
It's odd when the first temperature Tuesday of the season is in the 50s. So
I'm not complaining. If I never see another flake of snow, I'll be all right with it. I'm not a snow guy, but clearly the job that I have dictates that I have to live in these cold weather climates, I guess.
Hey, it all works out for that. The last time that we talked, we were heading into the Christmas break, a good Christmas break for everybody with the Stars, a couple of games after the break, a game in Omaha, a game in Fargo, and then a couple of games last week against the Waterloo Blackhawks. The Stars pick up points in 2 of those 4 games, or rather 3 of the 4 games, of course, with the point Omaha as well. Lincoln coming in tied for 3rd place in the Western Conference coming into this week. A big weekend here against the Tri-City Storm, Rocky.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a good club, and they just got the local Lincoln boy, Lincoln Helm, off the IR, and so they're a talented bunch. They'll get Prado back in the net, and I suspect this weekend, and
Marine
so,
as well.
They're well coached, and they've been hanging around. Obviously, new coach there this year, and a lot of changes, but I think he's doing a great job, and they're certainly a competitive team that you have to prepare for.
Before we get into kind of this next week, we do want to talk about the games that have happened in the past. A big win for the Stars up in Fargo last Wednesday. 2 games here at the Icebox on Friday and Saturday against the Blackhawks and Waterloo. A win for the Stars on Saturday. Will Prowse getting named the USHL Goaltender of the Week for having a great week in terms of save percentage and goals allowed average. 2-1 on the week for him as well. A guy that was on the USHL All-Rookie team last year, and he just continues to bolster his resume here in Tier 1 junior hockey.
He's been, I can't say enough about Prouser. He's he's such an easygoing kid, not your typical goalie, just very very outgoing and pleasant. He's very mature. He's been one of our leaders all year long. He doesn't obviously wear a letter as a goalie, but I, certainly would say that he's part of our leadership committee in that locker room. And, he took everything he learned last year, whether it be his own development with Art or what he learned from Jan and his ability to play high volume of games and be prepared for them. And Prouser's just gotten better every start as the year has gone on, and he's in there every night making saves for us and give us a chance to win.
He's in terms of goalies that I've watched in my broadcasting career, he strikes me as a guy, he doesn't overdo it a lot. He's very technical with his movement. He's not kind of a fly around the crease kind of tender.
So he lets the game come to him a little bit. He is very athletic, and he can make those saves if he needs to, but because he's such an intelligent player and person, he's learned a lot about his angles and where he needs to challenge and where he needs to kind of put himself so that his rebound control is solid. And that's what was great about the game on Saturday. Obviously, Friday we gave up some really, really dangerous chances that we shouldn't have, and he was able to make saves. But Saturday, he made all his saves, but he made them look easy. He didn't leave pucks in gray areas where we could give up second and third chances. He was very responsible in his puck management, and so the guys were really confident with him in the net.
Yeah, and of course one of those veteran leaders, just a 19-year-old goaltender committed to play college hockey at Princeton. Him and Charles Menard seem to, at least since you guys went out and made the trade for Menard right before we went to Waterloo, funnily enough, it seems like those two in terms of a goalie room have meshed really well.
Well, Prowse is a welcoming guy, and obviously he appreciates the relationship that he had with Jan last year, and it needs to be competitive. You can't have a submissive number 2 in that room, or else the quote unquote starter doesn't get pushed hard enough. And it is Prouse's net, but in the same breath, Charlie is a guy that pushes every day in practice. His compete level is elite. His energy is outstanding, and he'll be back in the net again this weekend. And he had a little bit of a rough patch, which every player does. The difference is when it happens to the goalie, it's very, very noticeable. And so, he didn't play bad hockey, just not a complete effort that maybe he as a high achieving athlete would want for himself. So, he's ready to go, and he can't wait to get back in the net. And when he's not in the net, he's very supportive of Will, and obviously he wants to win as bad as everybody else in the room.
In that game on Saturday, the Stars with a 4-1 victory against the Waterloo Blackhawks. I want to talk about something that hasn't happened since late in the year last season. You had a multiple goal game by 2 defensemen. You had 2 defensemen score goals with Nathaniel Poulsfler in the USHL and the captain Nick Young as well. Of course, Younger's being the game-winning goal, but Pools, of course, was huge, getting up by 2 late in the game as well. Getting defensive-minded players being able to add it to your score sheet is something that you have been looking for all season long.
Yeah, I mean, we've been blessed in the previous 4 years to have really high end D, and not that we don't have high end defensemen now. They're just the offensive side of things for some of those guys hasn't gotten there yet. And you're seeing, certainly Younger has been producing all year long. He's almost at a point per game clip, and he should be as a third year guy. But some of those other guys are feeling confident. I think, Drew Nelson had a good weekend. He was creating and getting pucks to the net. He got his first USHL goal on Friday, and Puller jumps down the dot line and gets us a big one there. But the other guys are doing a really nice job of getting pucks to the net, whether it's Ikes, whether it's Brownie, whether it's Slopes, whoever it is back there. Those guys are more and more confident with their ability to generate offense from the blue line. But we also need to do a better job of generating offense below the dots. We've gotten a little bit too comfortable with the low to high play to our defensemen being option number one. And when you're watching us play and you see low to high, low to high, low to high, low to high, well, now you can kind of prepare for that type of defensive zone setup if you're playing against us, and if we can get more elbow attacks where we're attacking off the half wall and getting to the middle of the ice, where we can get more of those low side changes and attack from below the goal line, then I think we make ourselves a little bit more multifaceted in the offensive zone, and something that we're trying to take that next progression of our O-zone to be more of a multiple look threat when we have the puck in the O-zone.
Is that something that you're teaching in video, or is that something that you can really only kind of simulate during game action?
No, you can absolutely teach it in video. We had a video session this morning where, I was able to stop it on a number of occasions and say, okay, like, here's our F2 and here's where you should be. And because you're not here right now, watch what happens. This puck goes low to high. It gets to the net. We don't have any traffic net front. Right. And so guys want to go to the puck, which is great, but patience of when you vacate that space to get to the puck is just as important. And then the puck support to be able to advance plays and make plays through the dot lines and make plays to the weak side of the ice. That's the next evolution of our offensive zone possessions that is going to enable us to create more. And we were deep and experienced last year, and top to bottom, everybody could score. And so we scored in bunches in a number of different ways. We got a ton of production from our D number one last year, whether it was Lassard or Harrington or Hendricks or Rombach, you name it. But our forwards were much more of a threat in a 5-on-5 set, not just on rushes or power plays, where we have not quite gotten to that point. But we've got half a hockey season left, a lot of time to develop and grow, and this team is definitely trending in the right direction. And so as a staff, we're really excited to see that.
Yeah, 17-13, 1-0 at the halfway point after the start that we were on. If you would have told me that, I would have signed up immediately for that after the first couple of weeks of the season.
Yeah, we've got games in hand in the conference, and so it's one of those things where those games in hand only matter if you find a way to win them. But at least you got them in your back pocket right now, and you got to go out and handle your business.
Real quick, I know you're not a huge NFL guy, but we do have some breaking news out of the National Football League concerning you were a big Steelers fan growing up, weren't you?
No, but okay, we'll talk about the Steelers. What do we got going on?
John Harbaugh was just fired as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens.
That's interesting. I mean, he's done such a great job there. But
they made their pick. They chose the quarterback, not the head coach.
Well, I mean, it won't take John Harbaugh long to get another job. I think New York. Giants?
I don't know.
Falcons?
Just up the seaboard.
I mean, there's a lot of... How many jobs are open now?
Falcons.
Cardinals.
That's the 7th one now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're hired to be fired in pro football, but that's the breaks. Those guys walk away with a lot of money in their pockets, so they're not hurting. But
probably the least insufferable Harbaugh for you.
The other one's the worst. But when you look at Lamar, how do you not take him? How do you not say? But in the same breath, like, he had a pretty bad year. He's obviously been successful individually, and statistically he's won MVPs, but have they ever really been a Super Bowl threat since he's been the quarterback there? I don't think so.
Did you watch any of that game on Sunday night? The Steelers game?
The Steelers won, 26-24?
Yeah, and the Ravens missed a 44-yard field goal at the conclusion.
Yeah, well, I know all about missed field goals. So.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the Buckeyes at all?
Hey, listen, I'm not going to hide from it. They played bad. They and you could talk about all of the distractions, but everybody has those distractions. Indiana has those distractions, but your offensive coordinator didn't walk away right before the Big Ten championship game, and the biggest thing I didn't understand was Chip Kelly was available, and he got let go by the Raiders. He knows the offense, he knows the personnel. Like, why wouldn't you just bring him in and say, hey, you can have your job back?
He's going to Northwestern.
He likes
now,
Evanston
right?
more, I guess.
It's interesting that I mean, I'm sure they threw the keys to the car at him at Northwestern, but why wouldn't Ohio State do the same thing? Their offense was elite last year. Granted, the running backs were the difference, and that's where the offensive line for Ohio State and their running game just wasn't good enough. And I thought that unfortunately, Mr. Sayan, who I think is going to be absolutely elite, I think his comp in the NFL is Drew Brees, and I stand by that opinion. But he didn't have a great Big Ten championship game. He didn't have a great playoff game, and unfortunately that cost the Buckeyes this year. But the kicker certainly doesn't help, and some of the you miss a 27-yarder in the Big Ten championship game. You miss a makeable kick that I don't know. Watch all these other kickers just drill balls from 50, 55, and
do you guys have a salvageable backup kicker?
More than a salvageable. He was elite the year before. He just bombed balls from 55, 60 yards for Ball State, and he never got a chance. And now he's back in the portal. So, the portal's an interesting dynamic right now. Obviously, if you live around here and you're a Huskers fan, you know that all too well. But I mean, there's 1,400, 1,500 football players in that portal, and they are not all going to find home when musical chairs is done. And so, too many guys are chasing promises and chasing money. And I mean, Kirby Smart said it, like, who's committing to their development right now? Like, I'm committing to this school or that school, or, Texas A&M, highest paid player in program history. Why are we proud of that? I don't understand it. I'm all for players getting what they should get, but college has always been amateur athletics, and you got paid through your education. Nobody cares about the education anymore. That's the biggest problem, is they want generational money while they're still playing college sports, because a lot of these guys are going to end up not being elite players at the NFL level and making the money that they can make in college right now. And I'm watching all this portal stuff happen. They're talking about certain guys at Ohio State returning next year. They did it last year. I mean, all those guys came back to chase a championship when they could have left. And so, we'll see. Does Caleb Downs come back? I doubt it. Right. Does Carnell Tate come back? I doubt it. But, there's rumblings. Nobody thought some of the guys from the year before would come back, whether it was Travion Henderson or Jack or whoever it was, and they all did. But you had a dog at quarterback last year that was he's a senior, and he's mature, and he got it. And I think that I think Julian will get it next year, and I think they'll be just fine. The panic in the insane asylum that is Ohio State football fans is very much there right now, and it's disappointing because it's win or bust every year.
Yep.
And so if you don't win a championship, it feels like a failure. And the bigger problem is, when's the last time we won a Big Ten championship? It's been a while, and granted, it feels a little better that you've got a national championship under your belt in that time frame, but winning the Big Ten certainly should still matter.
There's your trade-off, though. You beat Michigan or you win the national championship.
I don't care about the Michigan game anymore, quite frankly, and that's sad. I say that with a heavy heart, because it doesn't matter. You saw we lost that game, lost a 1-point game to Oregon early on in the year. You lose the Michigan game. Okay, fine. You go on a 4-game run, you win a championship. But, we might as well completely get rid of the conference championship games. I mean, Miami finished third in the ACC this year, and they end up and they're a good team. Hats off to them.
Yeah.
And they're in the Final Four right now, and got to play one less game. Ohio State the year before got to play. Now you got to play that first round game, but you played at home. That's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Like, let's make the second round at home. Like, let's be done with this shenanigans that we can honor a proper playoff system and a proper bowl system in the same fashion. I don't think it's realistic. And so now you've got to figure out, does the money matter more? Does a quality playoff matter more? Because with the exception of the Ole Miss Georgia game, all the rest of the games were kind of garbage. You know, there wasn't really good games, even though, okay, the Ohio State game is what it is. It's a tight game, but it wasn't a great football game. That Ole Miss Georgia game was a fun game to watch. And
Speaking
the
of
other
kickers
ones,
bombing them from 55 yards, that Ole Miss kicker, dude, he is.
yeah, their quarterback is outstanding. I mean,
He was
Bear State
unmarked.
guy.
He was unmarked out of JUCO.
they're fun to watch, and you know they're going to be interesting because I think they can win. Obviously, the next game they play against Miami, and then you're going to see, you know, is it going to be Indiana? Is it going to be Oregon? I think it's probably going to be Indiana. I really do, and you know, as much as they've kind of come from the woodwork, like Cignetti is doing an unbelievable job, and you know, you listen to guys like him and Dan Lanning, they all worked for Saban at one point, and they all basically kind of liken it to going to school for football. You know, they're learning from one of the very best that ever had done it. And you know, you look at Kirby Smart, same thing. All those guys worked at one point for Nick Saban, and so you know, it's no surprise that they went on to be successful head coaches in their own right.
Yeah, college football is odd. You mentioned the Nebraska transfer portal. I'm sure that all of us know all too well because Nebraska had a quarterback that committed to them, then went back in the transfer portal
to go to Kentucky.
So he went to Kentucky.
Well, again, we're back to the beginning of this conversation where it's all about money, and you know, I don't think there's a big playing resume there with that young man from a college perspective. So,
he was the backup at Notre Dame. I think he just was it. It was a close battle with him and the Notre Dame. I can't remember his name.
So you're going to get promised the bag at Kentucky, and you know, I don't know Matt more than to say hello to him, but I have a feeling he's saying you need to come in and compete. You know, Raiola got hurt last year, and our backup quarterback came in. And he did a nice job for us, and he's healthy now. And maybe that's a guy that we want to try to win that job next year. He deserves the chance to win the job next year. But instead, you know, if they don't have a promise, they don't have a big bag of cash, they don't want to come play here. And that's a very transactional relationship which from a coaching perspective is very challenging. That's how my career started. Coaches and players were transactional. You play hard for me, I'll get you a scholarship, then we'll win together. Then it turned into this transformational relationship where you had to build trust, and you had to create this relationship that mattered. And now it doesn't matter anymore. Now it's very much back to that transactional feeling. Not with all of our players, obviously, but just looking at the grand scheme of things with athletes this day and age.
Yeah, sports are in an odd situation, and I can't speak on how it is with relationships in junior hockey, having been around here for only a number of months and with being in college for a while as well. But it's just kind of odd how the trade-off in that has worked from, you know, just saying we're going to win, that's all that matters, to, okay, I need to X, Y, and Z for you to do X, Y, and Z in that sense as well.
We've had, Blake Montgomery walked out last year. He walked out, and he got promised a lot of things on the other side of the table. And, you know, he asked me for things that I didn't want to just hand him, not because he wasn't capable, but because I didn't think it was in his best interest from a development standpoint. And, you know, you've got to earn those ice time opportunities. You've got to earn the chance to kill penalties. You got to show me you can defend 5-on-5. You got to do all these other things. And I think that it's my job, and coaches at this level, it's our job to build the foundation for that player and to develop their skill set, but also to develop a well-rounded player. And we always talk about an A game and a B game. Your A game is your initial identity, right? So, you know, if you're Alex Pelletier last year, your identity is a middle six forward that kills penalties and contributes as a secondary scorer, and you're responsible defensively, and you block pucks, and you do all those things. Well, his identity has evolved into something much more than that from a production standpoint. But let's say Pelly, which I don't think would happen, but let's say Pelly goes into BC next year and he can't score right away. He's having a hard time creating and scoring and pointing. Well, that foundational B game is there. You know, you could still play him, and he can be a defensive, responsible player, and he could kill penalties, and he could be on the ice in a 5-on-6, and he can eat up 5-on-5 minutes. He could do all these other things until he finds that ability to be a scorer again. And so every time guys jump levels, your role might change a little bit, but it's still incredibly valuable. And every one of our guys on this team was probably the best player on their team at some point in time in youth hockey or high school hockey, AAA, whatever it might be, lower levels of junior. And so now you come here and you've got a different responsibility. Well, if you don't take that identity and embrace it, then you're going to end up becoming a detriment. If you're going to play fourth line and you're going to cheat and try to score and not kill penalties and be defensively responsible, you're not helping the team win. And so this is a team sport. If you want to be an individual, go play tennis, go play golf. But as long as you play football, basketball, hockey, you need to make sure and do what's best for the team.
And you kind of see that a little bit with guys that are having, great success in, juniors. Think of guys like Gavin McKenna that are going in. They may be struggling just a little bit more than people would have thought when they're going to the NCAA. But then conversely, some news that came out of the USHL today, a guy like Tynan Lawrence, who's going to be a lottery draft pick in the NHL this year, hopping from Muskegon, now hopping into Boston University for the second half of the NCAA season.
Yeah, and I think, I obviously I'm an outsider looking at that situation just like you are, but I suspect that the push for him to be the number 1 overall pick is probably part of that equation where it's like, hey, go to BU right now, play the next 20 games, be it their top line center, be a point a game for the rest of the year and show that you're capable and ready to play against players of that caliber. And then you fall into that Porter Martone, Gavin McKenna type of the Verhoff kid, the Reshny kid, those are elite first round draft picks. And yes, they should be dominating college hockey, but for every one of those guys that left the CHL to go to college hockey, there's 5 guys that have left to go back to the CHL because they can't play at the college hockey level. It's too hard for them. And a kid just left
Arizona State this
morning, and he hasn't played, he hasn't dressed since October 18th. That was close to a point a game guy last year in the CHL. So you're seeing these guys struggle when they get to that level.
It's the first ounce of adversity that they face.
Yes, it is really, really hard to play college hockey. There's no more of a prepared player from a college hockey perspective than one that comes out of the USHL. And that's been shown time and time and time again. And so I suspect that Tynan Lawrence will be very successful at BU, but what a blow for Muskegon in the second half of the year.
You look at guys like that have won the Hobie Baker Award. I mean, even guys that are having success in the NHL, Macklin Celebrini, a guy that played for Chicago, now, of course, being probably a top 3 player in the NHL right now with the San Jose Sharks.
Crosby, number 2.
Yeah.
It's just, he's that type of player, and he scored 40 goals in this league as a 16-year-old. So certainly he's special, right? There's
not many 16-year-olds running around.
No, not that are scoring 40
caliber.
in their first year. I mean, listen, Pelly's a 20-year-old, and he's going to get 40 or 50 this year, obviously. And but 4 years younger, I don't know. I mean, that's why the kid's in his second year in San Jose already and made the Canadian Olympic team as a 19-year-old kid.
Have you coached a guy among that like a 16-year-old, high flyer like that in your career? I don't have the numbers in front of me.
Brandon Saad.
Oh yeah, the Chicago Blackhawks Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, Brandon Saad, and that was in the North American League. But he played for us as a 16-year-old, and he had 30 some goals that year as a 16-year-old. He couldn't even drive. He was 15, and how we did.
I think you remember telling me the story.
We had to take his brother on the team so his brother could drive him back and forth. And George was a good player in his own right, obviously. So I don't want to make it sound like George Saad wasn't good too, but Brandon was the gem in that deal. And then he went and he played for the program for his U18 year, and then he played in the OHL at that point.
Saginaw, I think.
Yes, yeah. and then he's in the National Hockey League, won 3 Stanley Cups with Chicago, and he's bounced around a little bit. He was with St. Louis for a while, he was with Colorado for a while, but he had quite a career. And his status actually dropped a little bit. He was at one point a consideration for a top 5 pick, and he fell I think into the 40s maybe before he got drafted, but a tremendous NHL
2011
career.
Round number 2, number 43 overall by Chicago in 2011.
So I do remember a little bit. That was
for what it's
15
worth,
years ago.
That 2008-9 season with the Mahoning Valley Phantoms in the North American Hockey League, 47 games, 29 goals, 18 assists, 47 points, 48 penalty minutes. He was plus 21.
As also a 16-year-old kid.
Also scored 5 goals in the playoffs that season.
Yeah,
well.
I mean, he was special. He was really special. And so you get to see a guy like that. And, obviously it's different. You have the Klebers of the world. You have the Rombachs of the world. They're top of the second round draft picks. But those guys are picked based on their potential. Now, obviously, Kleber has shown I suspect he'll be playing in Buffalo maybe as soon as the end of this college season.
For my Huskies, I hope so.
Yeah. And somebody like Rombach, he's a true freshman at Minnesota this year. It's going to take him a little bit more time. Probably should have played one more year of junior hockey, but they needed him. They lost some guys to pro hockey last year, and they brought him in. It's great for him, but it's that adversity that he's dealing with right now. It's good. And he's a mature kid, and he's capable of it. And this year you're looking at somebody like Brady Sloper, who's going to end up being drafted pretty high. Caden Danya was another one, just played for us this past week. He's going to go pretty high. So, those guys we've done a great job with D in here, and whether it was Hendricks or Harrington, those guys that have been drafted over the last few years are all going to end up playing in the National Hockey League.
And watching those guys evolve over the first 31 games of the season has been really fun as well.
Yeah, and it's frustrating as a coach because you got to just keep putting them out there, and you got to let them make mistakes, and you got to realize that, hey, it might be tough early on. With Rombach, it was really, really tough early on, but he just figured it out. He said, like I said, a mature kid that wanted to be coached, that was hungry to be better. And so you're happy to take your time and develop a young man like that, because you see the fruits of the effort that they put in over time. And obviously he gets drafted high by Nashville, and he'll be on the World Junior team next year, I'm sure. And so, it's been great to see those guys develop.
Rocky, that was a heck of a conversation that we just had for the last 15 minutes about just the evolution of junior hockey. Thank you for providing your insight on that.
My pleasure. It's great to be back here. We were gone for a couple weeks over Christmas break. Looking forward to a fantastic second half of the year here for the Stars, and a lot more great conversation here with Outside Box at the Ticket.
Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can make this your strongest year yet. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 9th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
January is your reset button. This January 10th, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping in Lincoln is kicking off our 10-week challenge. We combine high-energy kickboxing, powerful strength training, and simple, proven nutrition to deliver real results in just 10 weeks. For a limited time, get $150 off when you enroll today. No gimmicks, just coaching, accountability, and a community that pushes you to win. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Visit fxblincoln.com and start your strongest year yet at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. 2 locations, South 40th and Yankee Hill, North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, changing lives 10 weeks at a time.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new Delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get 1 half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney location. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Intermission is over. Get back on the ice with Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Rocky Russo and Alex Spurr.
Outside the Box, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Alexander Fern, as always, here on The Ticket. We've got a couple of 2 very special guests on the program today. We've got Evan Malkasian down there all the way across the table. Well, I guess to my right if you're listening on the road. And then Josh Polak in between us both. It's going to be a good second half of the show. Just wrapping up the first 30 minutes with Rocky talking about the Stars lately, talking about the state of junior hockey, talking to just about really anything in general. It was kind of a mailbox in that first 30 minutes. But fellas, how are you guys doing on this nice Tuesday evening?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, great. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit warmer than you guys are accustomed to. Toronto and Edmonton area kids.
Yeah, no, for sure. We were talking about it on the drive over. I mean, there's no snow. I think golf courses are open, which is absurd. I mean, it's like plus 20 Celsius, whatever that means Fahrenheit. I'm not too sure, but back home there's about 5 feet of snow, so it's not like we're doing that back home.
Are you guys big golfers? Most hockey players usually do tend to be big golfers, but
I get out there every now and then.
Okay.
Like, a couple of my buddies, we went out to like this golf resort, spent a weekend there, played some golf, and other than that, it's just, somebody sends something to the group chat, hey, who wants to go golfing? And then people start chiming in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get out when I can. It's definitely tough. Sometimes schedules are tricky, but I'm not one to care about what the course is like. It's more just getting out there and getting out with your buddies.
You guys both being from separate areas of Canada, of course, Evan, you being from the eastern part over in the Toronto area, you being a little bit more westerly in Edmonton. Did you guys ever cross paths before your time in Lincoln at all, or just in
Yes, actually.
Yeah,
we
really?
did.
Yeah, briefly.
Before I played in with the Austin Bruins in Denal last year, I played preseason with the Brooks Band. That's
the BCHL,
yeah, and he was on obviously Spruce,
and
so,
we didn't fare too well in that preseason game.
Yeah, we ended up smoking them 8-1 in the preseason, and Josh was playing, I was playing, I ended up scoring. I don't know. Yeah,
I didn't get one that game, that's for sure. But maybe a couple dashes. I don't know, but that was a rough one, and we figured it out by the end of the year.
It's kind of funny how tight knit it all is like that. So wait, so one game against each other. Did you guys know immediately, like once camp started here in Lincoln, that you guys had played against each other? Or did you just kind of sequence of elimination with that?
I mean, once I had heard his name, it sounded a little familiar, and then did a little digging.
Heard it over the loudspeakers at the PA systems at that rink.
Yeah, no, exactly, and did some digging and found out he was originally signed in Brooks, and that was sort of like, oh, like I must have played him. It was sort of like one of those where just sort of figured that I played him.
What led you from going from the BC to the North American League last year, Evan?
My brother played on the team that I went to
in Austin.
He was doing really good there. Their coach wanted me after my season, my rookie year in Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
Brooks' opportunity presented itself, and then shortly later it didn't really work out. So that opportunity had presented itself, and then from there just felt really comfortable being there, especially with my brother being there.
And your brother's playing D3 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hockey family, safe to say, for where you came from. Of course, being Toronto, you're a Leafs guy, I assume. Or
sucks to be a Leafs guy. But
Dave Matthews just broke the scoring record.
Yeah, but we're sitting at the bottom of the Atlantic, so it's not.
Yeah, well,
broke the record, but not this season.
So does that leave you as an Oilers guy then, or?
Yeah, I'm an Oilers fan. Obviously, I kind of.
It's been better as of late.
Yeah, so a lot of success there, but I'm also a Wings fan. I grew up, loved Pavel Datsyuk, and that's why I wear number 13. And I actually...
Is that what you told Corey when you took 13?
I did, yeah. I was super happy. Unfortunately, at UMD, though, Schlainer, he's wearing 13, so I might have to switch it up once I get there. But
That's funny. You have a reason why you were in 16, or is it just Corey gave you whatever he had?
I was actually 85 my whole life.
Why are you 80? That's like Jake Sanderson is like the only player I can think of that wears that number.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's just really a football number, but it's because I'm born on the 8th month of the year. My brother's born on the 5th.
Okay.
So then he wore 58 his whole time.
Oh, cool.
As well. And then once you get to juniors, you don't get to choose your number. So then...
Unless your name's Josh Polak.
But then I went with 16 because Mitch was my favorite player. So
okay.
16 is a pretty common number among junior teams. So.
And then he switches to 93 with the Golden Knights from his time in the Ontario League.
Yeah, I like 16. I was 16 last year and had, got lucky this year and got to take it again.
So going from the Null in your perspective, Evan, and the BC in your experience, is there anything different from those two leagues in terms of pace of play, physicality to the USHL?
Yeah,
that you guys I know there is. It's an objective truth, but like, what is the biggest thing that you guys have noticed?
For sure, I think it's just the pace. I mean, it's constantly like you just have way less time at the puck, and it's an adjustment. And guys are just physically stronger, faster, harder to play against, and it's I'd argue teams are generally a little older. There's less younger guys. So I think that just makes the biggest difference. Is it's a lot of guys. Especially now with the way junior hockey is, I think the BCHL has less guys who are going straight to school and lots of guys who are using it as a stepping stone. So whereas the USHL, obviously, guys are going straight from here ready to step into school. So I think that's the difference.
Yeah, for the NA league, it's there's no age out limit, so it's a lot older league. Not a lot of skill either, but it gets you pretty prepared for the USHL, except the fact that everybody's a lot older. And it's tougher to find open areas of the ice, and before you know it, before you touch the puck, there's a guy sitting on top of you.
Do you feel it's more physical in the North American League or in the USHL?
The North American League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it just because everybody's kind of a little bit bigger and older in that league?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So going from that to coming to Lincoln to, spending time with camp here in Lincoln to now, of course, being the middle part of the season with the Stars, after starting 0-6 that we did earlier this year, has there been any kind of favorite memories? Maybe your favorite memory did happen during that stretch. I don't know. Maybe off the ice. I don't know what kind of stuff happened there. But what's been you guys' favorite memories so far?
Well, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I think a lot of it's just like sort of experiencing the whole culture of like Lincoln hockey. Obviously, it's a different scene out here than growing up at home. But I think the passion that we see at the ice box is pretty cool. And getting a goal on that hometown heroes night and sort of I got to start that night too, so that was fun, and it definitely sort of gets you going and gets your boots moving. And then I think scoring that night was pretty pretty electric and felt pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of piggyback along that because starting a game in the ice box is probably
intro.
second to none when that start comes above your head. So getting to start one game was really cool. And then other than that, there's so many small moments that you kind of take for granted, but when you're just around the rink with the guys and just smiling and laughing, like you don't really realize it, but until it seems over and those guys all move on, those are really the greatest moments.
You'll never be with that selection of group of guys for the rest of your life in that sense. Yeah. So I'm never going to experience this, number one, because I can't skate backwards, and number two, because I'm kind of out of shape. Is there any nerves going on the ice? You know, you're lined up with those five. You have the goalie, then you have left defense, left wing, right wing, center, starting lineups. Craig is saying it over the loudspeakers. You've got Thunderstruck going. What kind of nerves does that light show and the intro kind of bring to you guys whenever you're getting your name announced?
The one time I did it, not really nervous, just fired up.
Yeah.
Like that thing will just get you pumped. It'll get your blood boiling. And if you're nervous, then that's fine. But for me, it was just about, being pumped and mentally dialed in.
I agree. I think it's not nerves because it's like such a cool experience. And you actually just get to see really what the fans are like that when you're standing there and you're sort of looking everywhere and you realize that like, hey, like this is like you made it here. And obviously there's a lot higher levels, but it's pretty cool. And I don't know if I've experienced anything that like.
Is there any other kind of teams in any other leagues that you've played in that have something similar, or is this just kind of its own thing?
No, not yet. I mean, obviously you see certain things in the NHL, and I mean the Oilers used to bring down the old oil
drum.
Yeah, exactly, and you'd skate under that, and so that was pretty cool. But honestly, other than that, I think the Stars are pretty unique.
Yeah, it gets me going up in the press box. So if it gets me going, I'm sure it gets you guys going too. Continuing our conversation here as well with Josh Polak and Evan Malkasian. A reminder that the Stars are back in action at home on Thursday against the Tri-Cities Storm. You can get your tickets at LincolnStars.com. It's $3 beer night at the Icebox. You got $3 PBR, $3 PBR Tall Boys or Busch Lights. It's our college night at the Icebox. It's going to be a fun night. Tickets are available. Again, LincolnStars.com. They are just $8. So tell your friends, come out to the Icebox. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll finish up the conversation here on Outside the Box.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with roof credit.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
January is your reset button. This January 10th, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping in Lincoln is kicking off our 10-week challenge. We combine high-energy kickboxing, powerful strength training, and simple, proven nutrition to deliver real results in just 10 weeks. For a limited time, get $150 off when you enroll today. No gimmicks, just coaching, accountability, and a community that pushes you to win. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Visit fxblincoln.com and start your strongest year yet at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. 2 locations, South 40th and Yankee Hill, North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, changing lives 10 weeks at a time.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Intermission is over. Get back on the ice with Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Alex Fern.
Wrapping up Outside the Box on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Alexander Fern, happy to be here with you this evening. Happy to be joined by Josh Polak and Evan Malkasian. Is it Josh or is it Joshua?
It is Joshua, but I mean, I think I've probably been called Josh
Okay.
more times than Joshua.
What do they have you on as the USHL website, though? That's the question.
I think they have down Joshua. I think that's like what my elite prospects says.
Okay. Well, I have you down as Josh on the line chart. So.
They
have you as Josh on the USHL website.
Oh, there you go. You've got Joshua on the spell.
They've also got
or the pronunciation chart.
They've also got you as with long hair in your headshot here as well. So
yeah,
you want to explain that to the people?
I mean, Prusy decided he was shaving his head bald after that Waterloo weekend, and I had just gotten a haircut that wasn't all that great, and Rocky definitely thought so too. It was a pretty bad one.
What was it with the early season stars and just terrible haircuts? Because Looms got one right before we went to Pittsburgh. Prushak told it he was just going to shave his head if we swept them that weekend, I think.
Yeah, me and Loomer both got pretty bad mullets. Mine was awful. It was like basically bald on the sides, and it didn't look good. So it was sort of after Prusy decided he was going to do it, it was like, oh, well, I mean, a bunch of us on the bus ride back were just like, well, I kind of want to shave my head. I was like, I got nothing better to do. I don't really care about my hair all that much. And then it solved my problem of my bad haircut and sort of gave it a reset.
Evan hasn't had to deal with anything like that yet, though, have you?
Bust my hair last year.
Last year you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It got too long, and
you got too long, and your solution to figure it out was just to get all of it gone.
Everybody else was going to this one hair salon that was in town, and they were doing a good job, and so I just thought I'd take a razor to it and solve my problems that way.
Okay, well, I guess it worked out for you.
Grew out pretty fast.
So I want to talk about just road trips in general. We had that trip out to Pittsburgh where we had the Fall Classic. We've had a couple of long road trips. We got a couple more this season. We go to Green Bay here in a couple of weeks, Muskegon as well. We don't go to Chicago this year. That'll be a next year thing, but that's besides the point. Do you guys have any like traditions when you're on the road, like favorite snacks, movies to watch? How do you spend your time on the sleeper buses?
Yeah, I'm a big movie person. I mean, for probably a month or so before Christmas break there, and then I just finished on the way back from Fargo. I watched the entire Star Wars timeline.
So we're including the shows and everything in there,
including the shows, which is what made it take so long. But it was good, and by the end, it was definitely sort of like I'm happy it's over because it was dragging.
Evan, you got any?
I was busy thinking about what because I didn't go to Pittsburgh. I didn't go to Michigan.
You didn't come to the NTDP. That's right.
But I did go to Fargo, and that was a sleeper bus trip. But
is that the only time you've been on one?
Yeah.
Thankfully, you weren't on the one that we took to Pittsburgh. That was fun.
Yeah, that sounded pretty awful. Bad. But, I'm also a movie guy, but I don't think I was watching any. I think I was just clicking through songs and finding new music, making playlists and stuff. But.
Okay. Do you guys have favorite snacks for the road then?
It depends. I mean, depends if we're stopped. Like a lot of time, like for the last one there, we sort of stopped at the gas station the night before, sort of picking out a couple things. I mean, I like to have a range. I like to have something crunchy, something chewy, and something a little sweet or salty, and find a balance.
So you just don't straight up have a single like favorite?
I mean, if I'm going chips, it's probably more of an unpopular pick, but I'm a big Fritos guy. Like Fritos Hoops or the Fritos little like corn chips.
Okay, that's not bad. Evan, do you got one?
No.
You just don't like food?
No, I love food. I just I won't. Stuff's too expensive these days at those gas stations. So whatever they got in the coolers in between us and the seats in the bus.
You're a big mango guy.
Some of them are good. The thinner one, you got a thin one, that's really good. If you got like a thick mango, then it's not the greatest. But
okay.
Other than that, I like the cheese that's in there.
He eats half the bag of mangoes.
Yeah.
Are you guys next to each other back? Yeah. I don't know what the arrangements are between bunks.
I'm in front of him.
Yeah,
you're right in front of him. Okay.
So when on the regular bus, I'm right behind him on the same side, and then sleeper bus, he was right across from me.
Huh. Well, it's funny how that all worked out. A couple of questions before we get out of here. So going from being in a different country to coming to the United States and coming to more Nebraska specifically, what are your impressions of being here in Lincoln in the state of Nebraska? Is there anything different from back home? Of course, you mentioned 5 feet of snow up there in Strathcona County, but
yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's different, but it's also a lot of the same. I mean, a lot of it's the prairie, and that's sort of typical for Western Canada. So, it reminds me a lot of home. Obviously, the weather's a lot nicer here than it is back home, but the general sort of vibe and the Western lifestyle, I guess, the Midwest lifestyle is very similar to back home. You see lots of boots, and I don't feel as out of place here as I might other place if I'm wearing those around, but. It's definitely a lot of the same, just a lot warmer, so I can't complain too much.
And then how about you, city boy?
It's actually it's a really active city here, especially when the students are out. Other than that, It's pretty much the same as Toronto, except the traffic back at home is terrible.
Have you ever rappelled from the CN Tower that I've seen people do?
No. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Not a heights guy?
No, I haven't been on a CN Tower since 8 or 9 years old.
So it's a tourist attraction, is what you're telling me.
It is.
I've been there. I've been to Toronto once, but that was like for a day, and I watched a Blue Jays game. But that's like,
was that this year's Blue Jays team? Or?
No, it would have been 2019. It was when you guys have. It was like Vladdy's rookie year, I think.
Okay, we weren't very good.
Like Rowdy Tellez was at first base.
Right
it
after
was
the Bautista did.
Yeah,
right
that's
after
right
Bautista.
after.
It was actually, and this is not a good thing that I remember. It was actually Tyler Skaggs' last MLB appearance before he passed away. He was an Angels pitcher, so it was. I don't know why specifically I remember that, but that's. Well, I don't want to end it on a bad note. Oh man. All right, boys, we got a couple of games this week. 3 games this weekend against the Tri-City Storm. What are you guys looking forward to most?
I mean, it's going to be a tough one for sure. I mean, like, no game's easy in this league, but especially when you're playing the same team 3 times in a row, like that it's going to be a grind.
Bound to get chippy, eh?
Absolutely. And so, I mean, you got to just sort of push your way through, especially with 3 3-3s coming up 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, we're treating it like a mini playoff series, so it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. And that Thursday game at the Ice Box is going to set the tone for the next 2.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty.
Indeed, it's $3 beers at the Ice Box, Busch Light, and PBR Tall Boys. Tickets are $8. Get your tickets at LincolnStars.com and come support us on the road at the Viero Center. Tickets are available at TriCityStorm.com as well. You got $10 tickets on the road. Again, for Rocky Russo, for Josh Polak, and Evan Malchazia, my name is Alexander Fern. We'll see you guys again next week. This has been Outside the Box, 93.7 The Ticket.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor,